Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Splensky, and I lead the user experience research team here at GitLab. And I'm here to just briefly talk a little bit about some of the content that will be covered in our next group conversation. So we like to focus on the top 3 cross-functional projects. The first is the system usability scale from Q4. So this was already shared out, but just to put it here in the deck so we can talk about it if any questions come up. The score was 67.7 from the last quarter. And we have essentially seen somewhat of a stabilization over the past 4+ quarters as a result that we think is due to the sampling methodology adjustments we made, which makes things a little bit more accurate for us too. As far as themes, the same 6 themes keep on appearing quarter after quarter. So there really isn't anything new that is showing up there. One of the biggest challenges we have is trying to address some of these themes at a more granular level. And this next project is aimed to do just that. So what this is really 2 things. The first is it's a new program of work that's coming out of the user research experience team, and it's called a usability benchmark. What this is, or the way that I like to describe it, is it's looking very closely at the experience as it is out there today under a microscope. So there's lots of different measures that we're looking very closely at. We have a larger sample size, and the end result is essentially a set of ratings and scores. So what we're looking at here, and this is actually the second part of what was done, both of which were done by Ben on our research team. He applied this new program of work and ran a study with it within the create stage. And we're looking at those results right now. So these are things, these 4 rows that we're seeing, like branch operations, et cetera, those are all closely related to the jobs to be done within create. And each of those squares represent the tasks that he ran. And those colors indicate a rating system. So there's much more detail that will be coming out soon. He just wrapped this up not too long ago. There's a lot more information in the epic, but essentially taking a big step back, if you were to ask me, so what's the big finding? The finding is that the score from a usability perspective is an 80.3, which is right on the border between fair and good for create. So there's lots of great information there. We learned a tremendous amount, and there's a lot of actions that will be coming out of this fairly soon. The third cross-stage project that we wanted to showcase is around navigation. So we now have a fully dedicated researcher within the ecosystem who's focusing right now on testing navigation. So with that comes a lot of deep thinking about how to best approach it and to look and see a lot of the past research that was done, and also looking ahead to see what we should do for research. And what we're looking at here is another program of work around testing navigation. And testing navigation is tricky. It's difficult to do, especially with a mature and robust navigation like we have, and with all of the personas that use it as well. So what we're looking at here is essentially that roadmap and what is being done at the moment. So we have a couple things that's happening at the moment. First is a tree test to establish the baseline around how we're doing it right now, how we're performing. This allows us to see and measure a little bit about, once we make some changes, we retest and we can see how we're doing based off of that baseline. The diary studies are there to help us learn a little bit more about our personas. It was a little surprising that we really didn't know what we needed to know to make navigation changes right off the bat. So those are in place for that. And there's a few more steps after that. Ashley will be present to talk a little bit more about that if questions come up. So next, I'll just draw some attention to this next section of our slides, and it's around the completed and in-process research projects that are being worked on. There are many completed. We have about 2 slides worth, I think about 15 or so. So each of those link to the issue. Feel free to click around and look into those, and feel free to bring any questions you have. There's also several slides showing the in-process research projects that are occurring right now. There's over 30 of them. Again, feel free to click at those. I will also end with the fact that all these things that I've been talking about and showing close collaboration with design, with research, with PM. So everybody's involved in all of these. I think it's safe to say that. So really nice collaboration as always. With that, I'll end with the fact that we also have a slide showing our participants, where we're getting them from, and the total amount. This is since our last group conversation, so a little over 2,000. So a lot of touch points happening there with our users. That is everything I just wanted to talk about briefly. Looking forward to talking about it more in detail at the group conversation. Thank you.